A public house is a place, basically the name for, a bar for everybody to gather and socialize. So I just took a classic name. We're looking, debonair, and kind of mixed it with something I like, where to socialize and go to grab drinks. So Dapper House, I felt like, was a little combination of the two.
Today we're in Royal Oak, Michigan, USA, and we're with Sean, owner of the Dapper House Barber and Shop. How are you, Sean?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. That's good to see you. Thanks for having us.
Of course. It's a pleasure.
How long have you been in business here?
So it'll be 3 years in May. So we're really proud of that. Hit that milestone.
What made you get into this type of business?
I guess I just had a passion for opening something where people could come to. My grandfather was the inspiration for it. I feel like that era is just so timeless. From traditional style tattoos to Sinatra. There's a reason why people still listen to that, and to aspire to be that dapper. So I wanted to create a space that captured that.
Was he into barbering himself?
No, he actually owned an auto parts store in Detroit, but he always had style. He had three-piece suits. He was a slick dude, and he was, inspiration in the sense of style, and everybody felt that way about him.
What are the trends here? Are guys kind of into that feel of that dapper, classical haircuts, or styles? Is that something that's big here?
Yeah, I feel like we're in a perfect area. Metro Detroit really allows you to be trendy, set trends, push the limit without being judged. Royal Oak, Ferndale, Birmingham, Detroit. I think it's just a great area to express your creative side to style. You can go a few miles outside of the cities that I talked about, and you may feel like you're in middle America, but this area right here really embraces style.
Back in 2008, I opened the first head shop barber shop in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. As a master barber, I take great pride in my profession. As a craftsman, I have a good sense of the kind of service most men seek, at least in my hometown. Now I'm curious to explore and see what's happening in different barbershops around the world. I want to see the kind of styles and service men demand in their grooming and fashion in different countries around the globe. My name's Cedric Small, and I'm the Global Barber. What type of guys come here to the Dapper House to get groomed?
Really, we take every client. I mean, we take kids. We get older gentlemen. We get it all. We really do. But our predominant clientele is probably young professional. But we get people that travel hours to see us. Because of our social media and our profile and the shoe shining and people's beard trim. I just think everybody likes our work. So,
do a lot of guys come in mostly for haircuts, beard shaves, beard trims? What are they looking for?
I'd say it's 90% haircuts. If you look at our books, we get a decent amount of beard trims.
I would say most of my styles are like easily manageable haircuts that you can reproduce and wear daily.
I definitely have a mixed clientele. White, African American, Asian, whatever. And I like it because all their hair is just so different. So yeah, lots of variety. A lot of them will tell you do whatever you want, but they never really mean it. But most of the cuts that I do are like your typical like pompadour haircuts, like tight fades, slick back on the top, which I like the best. And yeah, I think that's probably what I mostly do.
You like those the best visually, or you like those the
I
best
do,
just for cutting?
just visually. I'm a sucker for like anything 1920s through the 50s. I mean, that's like the best hair era, and I don't think it's ever gonna go out of style.
And then you got a portion that really like to pamper themselves. You know, we have a certain amount of guys that like to do our treatments. You know, we have these packages where it's the gentleman's treatments. We have a premium treatment, and then, you know, an inspiration of mine is the movie Casino. Mm-hmm. So we have 2 treatments called the Ace Rothstein, because, you know, he just looked like a clean-shaven, you know, gentleman, and then the Tangiers treatment, which was a hotel that he was the overseer for. So that was a little inspiration there, and people get that. They like to relax. They get a haircut, shave, scalp massage, manicure, and that's when people are really treating themselves.
That's what I'd like to do, combos, but we haven't done it yet.
Yeah, so you know what's crazy is that I bought these steamers just because, all right, so I was never in the industry, so I'm just researching everything. And I bought the steamers, and for the first 3 months, no one used them, you know? And then all of a sudden, we're like, let's do this, you know? So we had facials, and we had the steamer, and then we just started making these packages, and people were eating it up. People ate it up, you know? And you know, it's like a day at the spa. It's a spa day for gentlemen, you know?
Are there many barbershops in the city, or is this something that's just starting? Is this a new trend, old trend?
I would say that at this point, it's getting a little bit saturated. Each city has, you know, like each metro Detroit area has its few barbershops. Detroit definitely has its barbershops. It has its own, you know, different styles of barbershops, that's for sure. And but yeah, I mean, there's a decent amount of barbershops around, so there's good competition.
Now, since you've been open here about 3 years, right?
Yeah.
Have you noticed any changes? What to the industry itself? Anything different?
Yeah, I would say like right when we opened, we were kind of on the cusp of using technology to be able to book. I would say that's something that really changed because people can book right online from their phone without having to talk to anybody. And everybody would walk in and say, man, I really like that option to be able to book online. And I didn't even realize that that wasn't something that was available. You know, so I would say technology, and then, you know, people can look at their appointment, reschedule, cancel, all do that from their iPhone or whatever, you know, smartphone that they use.
Do you still do walk-ins or a lot of phone calls? Do you still set appointments that way?
Yeah, so depending on the day, I mean, we're really appointment based. When we first started, you know, people are finding us, so they're calling. they're walking in to see because they saw our sign. But right now, I mean, it's pretty much, we trained our clients to book ahead of time so that they can be assured that their seat is, available.
And what happens if they don't show up for their appointment?
We slap them up, No, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, that's something, if they don't show up to their appointment, that's something that we've, one of our biggest mottos is just being able to adjust. So if there's ever an issue where it's becoming an issue, we all talk about it as a shop, and we've made a cancellation policy. If you cancel within 2 hours or don't show to your appointment, then you're subject to a fee. You got to train your clients. I mean, there's shops that do walk-in only, and then you have people waiting for hours. But I don't really understand that, because we're so scheduled. Your day. People know when they're supposed to come in. I don't understand the walk-in mentality. Is that something?
Yeah. We offer walk-ins.
I mean, we offer walk-ins, but to be only walk-in, I guess I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't get it. Do you have a mission statement or a philosophy for what you're doing here?
I truly believe, I don't know, there's some barber shops or barbers that, make you feel like, oh, you're lucky for me to be cutting your hair. And for our shop, and my philosophy is that we always feel lucky that you're here. We feel lucky you're in the shop. So that's always, our philosophy. Treat everybody like they're VIP.
If I had a barber philosophy, it would be the bond that I have with my clients.
Right. So you get a lot of them that have been with you for many years?
Yeah, like my whole career. And they follow me.
And they follow you from
they
shop to shop?
follow me wherever I go.
I would say my philosophy with cutting hair is giving somebody a service, a conversation, whatever they need to go about life with. Meet them where they're at. Hang out with them while I cut their hair.
There's a barber shop, and the name is I can't think, but he's in a pink suit.
Oh, Donnie Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said it doesn't matter if you're
Rich or
poor or scum or whatever. Everyone's VIP here, and that really stuck with me.
Yeah.
It's actually a quote that I wrote down in my iPhone. So I just try to honor stuff.
You can tell that here that you have the passion and what it takes. The vibe is here.
Yeah. It all starts with the staff too. I can't speak on them enough, because I don't even understand sometimes. They're just so passionate about the business. It's just crazy, because I don't know. It makes me speechless. I don't know. They sometimes care more than I do. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm just blessed, I feel like, to have the staff that I do.
We're here with Mike at the Grand Trunk Pub in Detroit, Michigan. Mike, what do you have in store for us?
The building itself has been here since 1890 and become a pub around the 1930s. So it's been Grand Trunk Pub. It's named after the original ticket office that used to be for the train rides outside of Detroit. So that's where we got our name from. Pride ourselves in great local breweries in Detroit and Michigan. All of our drafts are from Michigan. And then we're going to go upstairs to a whiskey parlor and do a little whiskey tasting. It's been open for about 4 years now. It seats about 60 people, but that's really nice. Some high-end bourbons and scotches. So it's really a fun place to be. And we're going to start you out with some appetizers down here, some menu samples that we have. But it's going to be a good experience. We've got some great food and a great atmosphere. And then we'll take you upstairs to the whiskey parlor and show you around.
Nice. All right. That's great.
Thank you.
Mike.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
here at the whiskey parlor, we do a little bit of everything and a lot of whiskey. When you go to taste, the first taste you're gonna do, because you're gonna taste twice, you're gonna do what they call the Kentucky chew. So you're gonna chew it around your mouth, you're gonna cleanse your palate with it. And then you're gonna take a second sip, and that's what your whiskey is supposed to taste like.
Okay.
So. You chew it around. Booker no of Jim Beam actually coined that phrase. And then you're gonna take one more sip. So that's called a Kentucky hug. That warmth you feel when you sip whiskey when it goes down is what Kentuckians call the Kentucky hug.
Nice.
The next step would be to open your whiskey up. So it's been locked in a bottle for a very long time, and your oils are kind of separating. So there's a little water dropper here, and you just need 2 to 3 drops inside your glass. And that's enough to open up your whiskey without over diluting it. People don't believe me, but 2 drops of water can completely change the flavor of a whiskey, especially the higher the proof it is. So if you look after you drop it, you can see the swirls of all the oils. And then you repeat your steps of swirling and tasting. I'm gonna see if you get any other nuances out of that.
Wow.
It's
Kind of-
different. It's a lot.
Mellowed out a little bit.
It did mellow.
You're gonna get slightly new flavors. Some flavors might be a little more prominent. And this is only a 95 proof, so you do that to something that's like 100 proof or over, and you're gonna see a huge difference. To add an ice cube, that's going to completely change the flavor of your whiskey. Some people prefer not to do that because you are diluting your product and you are chilling it. I suggest going through this whole gambit anytime you try a new whiskey, just because it's going to change the flavor every time and you'll know how you like it paired. So I hope you enjoyed your tasting. I hope you learned a little bit and enjoyed your time at the whiskey parlor.
Thanks for having us. It's a great
Absolutely.
time.
Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thank you very much. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
So the shoe shining, I noticed that's something that you take on. Is that your passion? Is that something you do on a daily basis, or like, how did you get into that?
So when I was researching, barbershops and the ones that I really respected or old school classic style, I just thought that was right in there with, classic barbering. So my original plan was to find a shoe shiner to come in each day, but I realized there's just not enough business for someone to hire someone. So I was self-taught. I mean, YouTube is a great tool to use, and I just practiced on my own shoes. And I wouldn't consider myself up there with the best shoe shiners, but I feel like I do a good job.
Are a lot of men getting the shoe shined? Is that a service that's becoming popular here?
People will be getting the haircut, they get turned, they see the shoe shine station, they say, oh, I got a whole bunch of shoes, I need shine, and then next time they book, and they bring their shoes in. It's not something that I bank on or anything like that. It's just more for the nostalgia, for the old school vibe, and people really love it, so I think it's a dead art because you can really only get it at the airport or depending on what mall you're at, so.
When you first started the shop, how did that start?
So I've been so fortunate. I started with a girl named Britlin. She overheard someone speaking that I knew that I had approached about opening the barbershop. And she was getting her hair done, and she overheard someone speaking, so she said, give him my number.
That's a very random story. I was getting my hair done like an hour away. And I just had left my last job. I just bought a house, and I was in like a weird spot, and I overheard one of the ladies saying that a high school friend of hers was going to open up this old 1920s style barber shop and do shoe shining, and it was going to be in Royal Oak, and I lived like 5 minutes away. I think 3 months later, he called me, and he had no idea what he was doing, didn't know barbers, just had a vision and wanted to do it. And I was like, if we do this, like, I have people, so let's do it. And we did.
You know, I owe a lot to her because she helped gather a small staff, and she was really the catalyst of saying, let's hang in there, you know, with the roughs. We had a little bit of a rough, you know, first couple months, and just as a lot of businesses may, you know, encounter in their first few months of being open. And I just feel like I have the best staff around.
Yeah, and how many chairs or how many staff do you have here?
So right now we have 8. We started with 3, and you know, we were with 3 for a while, and we just slowly grew. We had 5 chairs to start, and then we added a 4th person, and then, you know, you just slowly grow. And it's really crazy to think sometimes when I close up shop where we started and where we are now. You know, it's been a fun journey. You know, not always fun in the beginning, but you know, it's worth it.
Thanks for having us. I love your shop. Your staff was great. Phenomenal haircuts that I've seen coming out of here. You know, I didn't know what to expect. I looked at a lot of your stuff online. I could tell that, you know, this is a above average barber shop. You treated us amazing. It was a good environment, and I can understand why your customers come here. It's been a blast.
For sure, you know, we wanted to treat you like we treat our customers, and you know, we gave you Michigan beer, Michigan whiskey, and you know, we wanted to treat you like you were family. So I hope that came off that way.
Oh, thank you again, man.
Appreciate you guys.
Good meeting you.
Yeah.
Accommodations provided by Hotel Royal Oak in Royal Oak, Michigan.